Hey, what is going on, guys? My name is Tana, and welcome to Crypto Bible. I hope you're all well. I thought I'd kind of come back and try and address what is going on in the market at the moment because I was just kind of sitting there this morning and I said to myself, man, this is it's looking kind of fishy, man. Like I was saying it in the Discord this morning as well, because what we've seen is a big dip from Bitcoin and the whole market, but what we've seen after that is Bitcoin with some weird ranging going on. um, and you've seen loads of other altcoins kind of explode. We've even seen some of them make new all-time highs. We've seen some recover really well. And on top of that, we're also getting some data coming out that there's still a lot of accumulation going on with Bitcoin. So what I decided to do today was just kind of, deep dive a little bit more into Bitcoin and maybe use some other indicators. Again, me, I'm not one of those that like getting all of these lines and everything out, but I kind of keep it simple, stuff that you guys can understand as well. And I'm going to try and present the case that this dip is probably in. And I just wanted to give my opinion. And remember, everything I do say is my opinion because I have this gut feeling. It's just a gut feeling that things could get pretty crazy really soon, only because of everything that I'm seeing in the market. And I'll get into them in a second. Let's quickly get into Bitcoin and show you what I'm seeing right now, right? So here's a Bitcoin chart on the 4 hour time frame. And as you can see, even in a 4 hour time frame, it's just been ranging in this area. One thing I always like doing whenever I'm confused to see if something's really oversold or really overbought, the best thing to do is bring out the relative strength index. This is something that people should definitely be using. I brought this out quite a few times before in the past. And one thing that really struck me was this here. Every time something, you guys can use this for yourself as well, by the way. If you get the relative strength index and you see something on the minimum 4 hour chart, I'd say, get below 30 on the relative strength index. So this bottom line here will always represent 30, right? And then this top line right here will always represent 70. Whenever something gets below 30, it's usually way oversold, okay, like really oversold. And you can see the last time we actually got below this level on the 4 hour time frame for Bitcoin was all the way over here on July 20th. And on July 20th was right there, that dip right there. And as you guys can see, that was our bottom before we ended up going higher. Okay, that was when we hit that $29,000 mark. So, I kind of just said to myself, right, that's pretty interesting. So clearly Bitcoin is very oversold at this point, and we have had a bounce out of there. The last time we done that, we did end up moving from 29K all the way up to 50K. So that was definitely something that we needed to keep in mind for sure. And as you can see, it did get over 70 over here, so it clearly was slightly overbought. So basically, what I'm trying to say is this dip, this correction was needed. Okay, and the thing is, whenever we're in some kind of like euphoric stage where things are quite rosy, altcoins are kind, some are mooning here and there, things are looking good. These are the times when you don't really tend to look at the relative strength index. You don't really tend to get out all your indicators and have a look and see what Bitcoin is doing. Is it oversold? Is it overbought? Like, no one really looks at it because your mind is elsewhere. So that was really interesting to see, and it's actually really good to see because not only did we get really oversold, we also bounced on really important levels, which I'll get to in a second, right? Then we move over to this, and this is the daily time frame. And I thought I'd try to see if we see any type of hidden bullish divergence, and we do. So that was quite interesting as well. I mean, we seem to be grinding along this trend line. We have bounced on top of it as well. So that was pretty interesting as well. It's always good to find bullish divergences, and we have bounced on our trend right here. So that could also indicate that the bottom of Bitcoin was in. And it's just kind of difficult to, predict what Bitcoin's going to do now because it's just ranging, Obviously, another thing we did see from Bitcoin is that where it actually dipped to was this area right here. But we could drag it all across and see that it was a very important area. Previously, resistance over here, all the way on the 8th of January. We then flipped it into support on the 28th of February before breaking down below and finding resistance here, here, and here again. Well, have we just flipped it and turned it into support again? Because as I showed in my video yesterday, the last time we did that was over here, and we rallied from literally 43K all the way up to 65K. So are we in that area now where Bitcoin just needed a big correction to confirm our next leg up? It's very difficult to say, because obviously if we move over to the hourly chart, another thing that we are seeing is some very strange consolidation right here, right? And I'll tell you what my thoughts are on this, because I've seen this before so many times. Whenever you see something with very low volume, very sideways consolidation with barely any breakouts or breakdowns, this usually indicates that there's going to be a very big move coming really soon. And it's going to be explosive usually. That's what happens. We can also see down here with the volume that it is decreasing. Okay, volume is decreasing a lot. So soon we are going to see one fat volume come out of it. But whether it's going to be sell volume or buy volume, it's yet to be seen. We don't know. I've seen people kind of just go on here and, draw some trend lines on here. It's just very difficult to understand where you're going to draw it from. I mean, if you do it like that, cool, we could be breaking out very soon. But it's so difficult because, people could have put it from there and had bounces on here and here. Well, in that case, we've already broken out. So it's so difficult to place anything on what's going on here. All I know is that whenever we have moves like this with very, very small, moves, just sideways consolidation, it kind of gets into like a spiraling thing. What you'll end up seeing is either that or that. So it's very difficult to judge. But obviously we can go ahead and look at things like data. This chart right here shows that as the Bitcoin price was going down, we can see that all types of accumulation, the Bitcoin supply was being strongly held and had a huge uptick, as this tweet is saying right here. So if we end up clicking on the actual photo itself, what we're seeing here is that Bitcoin was being highly accumulated again whilst the price dropped pretty heavily. So ideally, that is what you want to see, right? You want to be seeing accumulation being happening within the Bitcoin chart while the Bitcoin price is going down, because it just goes to show that long-term holders and whales are still holding, are still buying the dip, as they keep saying. Soon there's going to come a point where the dip is just going to keep dipping. But at this point in time, it's so difficult to understand what's really going on, right? But obviously what we've seen from today's video so far is that the relative strength index shows that Bitcoin is heavily oversold. And every time something gets around these levels, we usually do see a big bounce come out of there. Whether it's just oversold and taking its time before we do bounce is yet to be seen. But we know that the last time Bitcoin entered this area was over here when it hit 29,000. And that was our bottom before we rallied, almost double the price all the way up to here to $52,000. We also know that there is a hidden bullish divergence, and we also know that the volume is decreasing on this chart, and we know that Bitcoin did come back down to retest very important areas of support, ideal areas that we were in for such a long time. If I could just go like that all the way across, you can see that these are the levels that we found resistance in there, support in there, resistance, 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 and now it's just turned it into support again. So, when I look at it from this kind of standpoint, I say to myself, cool, this does look really bullish to me. And it's probably something that I would buy if I was looking from the outside in. The only issue is that the problem that we've got right now is this very low consolidation, which scares me. It really does scare me, because I've just seen this so many times, and it always results in an explosive move. But we don't know if it's going to be up or down. If it goes down, I'd be expecting for this level to still hold. If it goes up, I would really be expecting to get back around to the $50K mark. So what we're looking at here is a possible 43K or 48 to 50K. So that is basically what I'm seeing on Bitcoin. I thought I'd go ahead and take a look at other charts and just give us more examples of what is going on here, to kind of support the fact that the bottom is in and then the market is still really bullish, right? I'll take a look at Sol. Sol went on to make yet another new all-time high today, which is just beyond me. Honestly, it is beyond me. And if we look at it again from a Fibonacci retracement standpoint, it has now exceeded all Fibonacci retracement and is heading even higher. And, we've identified Sol as a leader in the market. One of the guys in my Discord earlier was saying, but Tanner, Sol is still going. That's the leader, right? So everything's going to be okay. Well, yeah, I mean, well, that's what I think anyway, because we always identify leaders and laggers, and they always tell us what's happening in the market. Sol is still going. I keep saying that whenever Sol stops going, we will see a big rotation of that money flood into the rest of the market. And then you'll see a rotation from coin to coin happen. And ultimately, we'll be seeing an alt season, right? Sol is in an alt season right now. It's on its own. We've seen other pops here and there, but it's still going, okay? Which is what you want to see. You don't want to see no random big dip come out of it. Nah, this is still going, which is so good. On top of that, we've seen coins like Algo, which made a brand new all-time high yesterday. Well, today, it even made a new all-time high today. Like, again, one thing I keep saying to you guys is that, we would not be seeing price action like this happening if we were in a bear market. You don't see new all-time highs happen in a bear market, okay? And then we even seeing other coins, for example, like Luna. The reason why I've got Luna up is because it made such a swift recovery. And we've seen quite a lot of coins which had that big bottom that came out 2 days ago after the Bitcoin dump, but they've already recovered back to the levels that they were at over here back in like the beginning of September. It's just kind of chilling where it is before we ended up dumping anyway. So not only are we seeing Bitcoin hold important levels, not only are we seeing it being completely oversold, holding important support levels, bullish divergences, we're also seeing coins make new all-time highs and recovering very strongly as well. And don't get it twisted, I've only got 3 coins up there, Solana, Algo, and Luna, to give you examples. If you go on Binance and take a look at the top gainers today, it's ridiculous. I mean, I was looking at it this morning and I said to myself, you would not be seeing top gainers make moves like this. I'm literally going on my phone right now because when I was looking at it, what you're actually seeing here are moves like that. Look at that, 300% moves going up, 82, 43. Like, that's what you see in an alt season, isn't it? That's what you see when coins are acting really strong. So I don't know. I'm not saying the bottom is definitely in. I'm not saying that we're going to break out right now. All I'm saying is that there's some indicators showing that it looks really good. And the way Bitcoin is behaving right now, I've seen it before. It results in explosive movements. I've seen cases where the price was just spiraling like Bitcoin's doing now, and it went down a lot. And I've seen cases where it went up a lot. So it's very difficult to judge, but I thought I'd just show you guys what I'm seeing right now. And what I'm seeing is, to me, is pointing more towards that the bottom is in. We just need more time. And hopefully these alts can continue to recover like they are right now, whilst Bitcoin is still just ranging. And again, I'll go back to my gut feeling. Something really fishy is happening in this market right now. And I just cannot help but think that we're going to see something special really soon. I don't know what it is, but I feel like it's just going to catch everyone off guard. But I'm ready for it. So wait and see what happens. Hopefully, maybe by the end of the week, we could have more confirmation. Maybe Bitcoin will break out today. Who knows? Who knows? Let me know your thoughts, man. If you guys have any thoughts, let me know in the comments below. But if you've enjoyed this video, please be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already, guys. And I will see you very, very soon. I'll try to do a live stream later. Take it easy, people.